In this video, we're going to be talking about how actually getting a broken TV helped me with minimalism. What's up, friends? Paul here, and welcome to The Beautiful Mess, where we talk about tools and tactics to improve your life. I'm your host, Paul Dittis, a YouTuber, content creator, and podcaster. And today, I'm super excited to be talking to you about minimalism and how a broken 32-inch TV helped me with it. It was kind of a funny situation. We were out on a walk in our neighborhood and there was a TV that someone was getting rid of. And so we finished our walk. I got back home and I decided to, get in my car and check it out. And so I did. And I talked to the owners and they said they thought it was broken. They were pretty sure that it was broken. And so they were like, yeah, if you want to take it, by all means, go ahead and do it. And so I was like, okay, what I have to lose, I'll just bring it to the curb. So I brought it home, plugged it in, and sure enough, it was broken. And that's not the end of the story, because it actually was a catalyst for some good stuff. Basically, I ended up decluttering the garage, which had been a project that we'd been working on. We usually park one of our cars in the garage, and we had been hoping to park two cars in our garage. However, with stuff since we moved, we just haven't had a chance to yet clear up that space, because typically we like to park both of our cars in a garage if possible. But the funniest thing was this broken TV, at first I was like, oh man, this is probably not worth it because it's probably broken, which it was, but in the end, I got so much more out of a broken TV because I was able to basically clear out a lot of stuff that was just sitting in the garage. And if I didn't take action, even though it's imperfect and, I probably should have just been able to clear out my garage without this catalyst, but the catalyst really helped me, because then all of a sudden I got to get this out. Might as well take out the other stuff while I'm at it. And it just made me think of what other areas of our lives do we have stuff that's just chilling, or things that you hold on to and it's just chilling. And I think it's good to take a step back and look at are there ways that we can reduce that clutter. And so I'm going to give you a couple of different areas to consider if you feel like you might be in that situation and you've been holding on to something. Maybe you've got a broken TV that's sitting in your garage right now. So my encouragement is to look at those places in your life, and maybe there's something that you need to kick to the curb, declutter an area of your life, whether it's external or maybe it's internally, there's something that you have to deal with. Now's a good time. So number one, clean out your fridge. What is in there that's just lurking in your fridge? Because so many times we just let things sit in your fridge. Maybe you've got multiple things. This is a thing that I've seen is people don't always finish. I don't know if this is just something that I've dealt with personally, but I feel like people open up something before the other one's done, so that you have 2 jars of peanut butter, 2 jellies, all two sour creams, and it's just why, So I think it's good to have this mentality that you're gonna just have the one thing, and then once that's done, then you switch it out. And I think the problem is when you're just trying to finish that last bit, then someone's I'll just open a new one, and they just leave the old one in the fridge. But it's good to try to clean that out where you can. So try to clean out your fridge, be a minimalist with your fridge, and get rid of the rest. Throw it to the curb. The next area we're going to talk about is your clothes. Are there clothes that you just have sitting in your drawer, just chilling? You don't wear them ever. They've been just staring at you for the longest time. I think it's time that you kick it to the curb. Actually, better yet, donate it. Call up a donation place, and just schedule a pickup if you can, or just drop it off at your local donation center. That way someone else can benefit from your old clothes that you're no longer wearing. And this is the next one is kind of like ridiculous that I'm even going to mention it. But let me tell you, people hold on to stuff longer than they should. If you have anything broken in your house, in your garage, anywhere, you should probably just get rid of it or deal with it now, because it's just going to take up space. It's going to be, something that you're going to have to deal with sooner or later. Might as well clean it up so you can make room for things that are adding value, or just to create space in your life that one thing was taking up. It's ridiculous how many times people have storage facilities for stuff and they really don't need to, because one, it's probably stuff that they don't care enough that it's in their house, for one. I mean, there's unique situations where you might have storage facilities. I'm not going to say like blanket statement storage facilities are bad. I've used them before. Like during a transition, it can be really helpful, because all of a sudden, you might be living in an apartment temporarily and you've got stuff for a house that you use and appreciate. But I mean, and that might be a lesson in itself. Maybe you actually don't need a lot of that. But often, it's stuff that you care about, that you want to keep, but you just currently don't have the space for it. So, but if you have it on a regular basis, maybe consider going to your storage facility and seeing what stuff you actually need. Do you need a storage facility? Maybe there's stuff in your closets that are your, storage facility in your house. The next recommendation is one of my favorites, is unsubscribe from emails that you no longer read. So many of us, you're trying to get a coupon or one of those little things, and you sign up for like that 10% off, and you're basically signing up for their email list, their marketing list. And so my encouragement is for you is to go through your email inbox every time, things hit your email inbox, and consider, is this something that's truly bringing me value? If it is, great. If it's not, hit that unsubscribe button. It's there for a reason. And, I think your inbox and your time and attention is worth hitting that unsubscribe. It's like you have to hit it once, but the payoff of not getting those emails every single day, every single week, it's huge. Just one less thing that you have to decide. Am I going to click on that one email? Maybe there's a sale on some kind of item that you at once wanted, or you bought it, that one thing, and then you no longer need it. Just hit the unsubscribe button. The next one is one of my favorites. So if there's things that you're like paying for on a regular basis, take a look at it and then cancel anything that you're not using actively, like streaming services. Those are the things that you sign up for and you just kind of like let it sit in the background. But I encourage you to kind of take a peek at what you're currently paying for and make sure that you're getting your money's worth. And if not, more likely than not, you're going to be better off just smashing that unsubscribe, cancel button, as much as, it's just going to take a little bit of time to like go do these things. But the benefits of hitting unsubscribe from canceling these things are going to be better. And I encourage you to also connect it with your why. Why are you doing this? Think about, maybe you want to take a vacation and you realize that by eliminating these things, that will allow you the clarity and space to allow that to happen. Especially, if canceling some subscriptions, if getting rid of stuff, maybe selling or donating like items in your house that you no longer need can help contribute towards that fund. Then all of a sudden you have a purpose behind what you're doing. And it's not just getting rid of stuff, which is good in and of itself, but it's also important to understand why you're doing it. Again, as a minimalist, it's like you're getting rid of the clutter, those things that take up your time and energy, that make you realize, is this worth it? You're confronted with it. And one of the interesting things that I realized recently is that some things come as a package. What I mean by that. So, for example, maybe you buy a gaming console I'll just use this as an example. You're probably not just going to buy a gaming console. You're probably going to either get a controller or a game. You might need to buy a game, and then you might need like now they sell like this subscription so you can play online with people. And so like, it's not just that one purchase or that one thing that you have to consider, but it's like a whole line of things. And so sometimes it's simpler to understand the whole package, and to understand, like, is this worth it? Like getting all this, and maybe it is. But just understanding that just because it's like this one thing doesn't mean that there's not all these other surrounding things that come with it as a package. So I think I'm going to keep this episode shorter than usual. I think that'd be cool. Try to make the most of your time. And I think maybe we'll try this as an experiment, see how it goes. But before we do that, I want to ask you to hit the subscribe button down below if you're on YouTube or listening on a podcast platform. Would love to have you in the Messy fam. But in conclusion, think about those things in your life that are taking your time and attention, that just clutter up your space in your life, and see what areas you can reduce the stress, reduce the noise of your environment, make it simpler, make it a place that you enjoy, make it and actually this made me think of a topic for another episode is this idea of hygge. It's spelled really weird. It's like Hygge. But yeah, that you should look it up. It's an intriguing thing that hopefully I can spend an episode talking about at some point. But let me know down in the comments if there's a topic that you want me to dive into. Would love to hear from you. And until next time, my friend, kick the junk to the curb and stay messy. Get started on those important things in life that you've been holding off. Push aside the noise, push aside the distractions, and get going.